What is the probability of rolling a 6 on a fair 6-sided die? The answer is 1 in 6. What is the probability of rolling a 3, or a 2, or a 1, or a 5? Every side of the die has an equal probability of coming up. This is what is called a uniform probability distribution. In a uniform distribution, the variable has a constant or equal probability for every outcome. It's also called a rectangular distribution. And here is the formula that we would use for calculating this uniform probability distribution. It's pretty straightforward. Each frequency is 1 over n, in which n is the number of values that the random variable may assume. The values of the random variable are equally likely. If we roll a single die 100,000 times, we would get a probability distribution that would look pretty close to uniform. However, we know that theoretical probability distributions differ from experimental probability distributions. The experimental roll of the die would not be exactly like the theoretical distribution, but it would be quite close. Here's what the theoretical distribution would look like. Every option has exactly the same probability. Rolling 1 or 3 or 5 or 2 has a probability of 0.166, which has been calculated as 1 over n, where n equals 6 for a 6-sided die. To compute the average, we would find the score in the middle by adding up all potential outcomes, 1 through 6, and dividing by 6. 21 divided by 6 is 3.5, making the average of all of the numbers rolled 3.5. This same logic would hold true if we were using more exotic dice, like this 4-sided die. The probability of any number coming up is 1 in 4. The expected value, the average of all of the rolls, would be 2. For a 10-sided die, every option, every potential outcome has a 1 in 10 chance of occurring, and the expected value would be 5. On a 12-sided die, the same logic would apply. Every outcome has a 1 in 12 chance of occurring, and the expected value would be a 6. For our business of the week, Dante decides to shake things up down at the Divine Comedy Club and create Chaos Night, in which you are randomly assigned where you will sit in the theater. On Chaos Night, Dante experiments with randomly assigning patrons to one of the 9 circles of comedy. Louie Cipher arrives one evening hoping to have 3 friends for dinner. What is the probability that Louie will be placed in the 9th circle? Calculating that probability involves knowing how many total circles there are. There are 9. So the probability of being in any one of those circles is 1 over 9, or 0.111. And as I've done previously, I've created an Excel spreadsheet for how to calculate expected values and variance for this uniform probability distribution. We're going to take a look at that in our next video.